Welcome. In this video, can Xcn coin come an incredible rise? We will analyze it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and please watch to the end to understand. On the chart, we can see a significant descending trend line that we analyzed in detail in previous videos and clearly identified and drew 2 videos ago. This trend line represents a highly critical technical level, one where the price has repeatedly struggled in the past, meeting resistance during upward attempts and pulling back each time. Therefore, from a technical analysis perspective, this trend line carries both psychological and structural importance regarding its impact on price. During the first encounter with this trend line, the price faced obvious resistance, struggled to move upward, and eventually turned back down due to weakening momentum. The failure to break the level on the first attempt is a classic scenario in technical analysis, usually indicating that the market hasn't yet accumulated enough strength and that the buyers haven't gained control of the momentum. However, another key point in technical analysis is this. A failed breakout attempt on the first try may result in a much stronger outcome on the second or third attempts. With each test of the level, the price applies more pressure, seller strength diminishes, and support-resistance transitions become easier. At this current stage, the price is once again approaching the same trend line. This second test is considered a potential breakout level in technical analysis, as breakouts are much more likely to occur on second attempts. There are several reasons for this. First, the market has now recognized this trend line, and among investors, an expectation has formed that a breakout could lead to a new bullish wave. This increases buying pressure. Second, the strength of the sellers at this resistance zone may have diminished after the initial test. If there's no longer enough volume to defend the level, buyers may be able to push the price higher more easily. Additionally, such breakouts often create a domino effect in technical analysis. Once the descending trend line is broken, the breakout gives confidence to investors, increasing the number of participants opening long positions. This surge in buying pressure can push the price to the next resistance level. New highs formed above the broken trend line and continued upward movement can further strengthen the bullish scenario and lead to higher target discussions. Of course, one important detail to pay attention to is the retest that typically follows a breakout. If the price breaks the trend line and then returns to test it, finding support and bouncing higher, it provides a strong confirmation of the breakout's validity. In technical analysis, the retest is just as important as the breakout, as real investor interest often becomes evident during the retest phase. In summary, the descending trend line we drew 2 videos ago still holds technical validity, and the price is once again approaching this line step by step. A second attempt at this level, which the price failed to break on the first try, carries much stronger breakout potential from a technical standpoint. If the price can clearly break above this level this time, not only technical indicators but also market psychology may shift in favor of the bulls, potentially kicking off a strong, even sharp, upward trend. But looking only at trend lines is not enough. We need to consider other metrics as well to confirm whether a real bullish move is coming. Stay tuned. When we closely examine the chart, we can clearly see that the price structure is forming a highly meaningful and technically significant pattern. The structure in question is one of the classic technical analysis patterns known as the cup and handle formation, which is often observed during the continuation of bullish trends. This pattern is typically seen as a structure that forms when the market exits a consolidation phase and prepares to begin a new wave of upward movement. The current chart setup largely fits this definition. The first part of the pattern, the cup, forms as the price gradually declines over time, establishes a base at the bottom, and then slowly recovers to revisit its previous highs. This sequence creates a round and symmetrical shape on the price chart, resembling a cup. The longer and more stable the base of the cup is formed, the more reliable the formation becomes in technical analysis. This indicates that sufficient accumulation and consolidation have taken place in the market. Looking at the current chart, we can clearly observe that the price action has completed the cup portion and is now transitioning into the second phase, the handle. The handle follows the completion of the cup and is typically characterized by a smaller scale pullback. During this phase, the price enters a temporary pause, often due to profit taking or investors waiting for a new buying opportunity. Structurally, this pullback tends to be shallow and limited, as the overall market trend remains upward and buyers are anticipating a breakout once the handle completes. At the moment, it appears that the price is indeed forming this handle. Looking at the volume, this theory is supported, as volume usually decreases during the handle phase, a period when the market quiets down briefly. However, this calm can be misleading, as once the formation completes, the price is expected to gain strong upward momentum. In technical analysis, Such breakouts often lead to sharp upward moves because the completion of the pattern triggers buy orders. The most notable and commonly discussed aspect of the cup and handle formation is its target level. When this type of formation is completed and the price breaks above the upper boundary of the handle, the generally accepted method of calculating the target in technical analysis is based on the depth of the cup. In other words, following the breakout, the price has the potential to rise by the same distance as the vertical span between the bottom of the cup and the handle's resistance line. While this target can vary depending on volume, market conditions, psychological resistance levels, and global news flow, technical analysis has repeatedly shown that this pattern tends to perform as described. In light of all these factors, if the cup and handle formation currently being built on the chart completes, a significant technical breakout could occur. This breakout may not only represent a short-term upward move, but could also mark the beginning of a longer-term bullish trend. Therefore, the completion of this pattern and the breakout of the handle are highly critical moments for investors. Particularly, a breakout above the horizontal resistance line at the top of the handle with strong volume confirms the formation and activates the projected target. In conclusion, the price is currently forming a classic cup and handle pattern on the chart and is now in the final stage, the handle. If the expected technical scenario unfolds and the price breaks above the upper boundary of the handle with strong volume, an upward price move equal to the depth of the cup may be on the table. This represents a highly profitable opportunity for investors and is something that should be closely monitored in the coming days. For those looking to enter positions, observing the price action in this region will be strategically important. The RSI, or Relative Strength Index, is one of the most commonly used technical analysis tools that measures buying and selling pressure in the markets. When we closely examine the chart right now, the most notable detail on the RSI side is the presence of an upward trend line that has been forming for some time and has remained consistently intact. This upward structure is quite valuable, as it shows that buyers are continuing to push the price higher in a controlled manner without losing dominance in the market. Such rising RSI trends not only indicate upward momentum, but also suggest that a positive internal balance has been established in the market and that this positivity may be sustainable. Especially when these types of trend structures in the RSI are evaluated alongside the price chart, they generate strong signals. In the current scenario, the RSI is approaching this ascending trend line, which it has tested multiple times before. These touches are critical for investors, as each time RSI contacted this line, either a reversal or an increase in momentum occurred on the price chart. The RSI remaining above this trend line, remaining loyal to the rising structure, signals that the market is in a healthy and stable uptrend. Conversely, if the RSI breaks below this trend line, it would indicate a weakening of momentum and could signal that the market may enter a short-term correction. However, the current outlook shows that the RSI is still moving in alignment with this trend line, and a potential touch here could result in an upward response. The sustainability of this rising trend on the RSI serves as a kind of safe zone for investors. This is because every time the RSI approaches this trend line, strong buying activity re-enters the market and momentum is pulled upward. This scenario is a good example of what's known in technical analysis as dynamic support. Just as fixed horizontal supports are crucial on a price chart, these upward trend lines in oscillators like the RSI are equally important. Additionally, when the RSI moves within such upward trends, it often signals larger price breakouts. The increasing momentum on the RSI indicates that prices are preparing to break through key technical levels to the upside, especially if there is compression, a triangle formation, or an approach to a resistance zone on the price chart, and the RSI is simultaneously forming an upward trend. The combination of these two technical signals can indicate strong bullish potential. It's important to keep tracking the RSI indicator to be aware when it touches the trend. Yes, friends, I hope you liked the video. If you subscribe to my channel and like the video, more videos will be coming. Be careful in your investments, analyze the risks correctly, and always take strategic steps. I will be with you with different analyses, investment opportunities, and technical information in my videos. I wish you all a lot of profit. See you soon.